Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Yo, people of the world. This is Babble Talk. This is your main man, Neo. I'm the anime guy of the show. And I'll let my other co-hosts tell you who they are.
Hey y'all, this is Oscar. I'm more into the Marvel and DC aspect. Next up is Nelly.
What's up, my people? I'm Nelly. Full name is Cornell, but everybody calls me Nelly. I'm the cosplayer of the group, more or less. I'm just pretty much like Oscar. I love the Marvel, the DC video game aspect of the pop culture realm. So, we all pulling in here. We're all giving our resources. We're all here to talk to y'all, get y'all input, and talk to each other about what's going on in this crazy pop culture world. So we're going to be talking about Marvel, DC, anime, cartoons, old school, new school, everything.
If you can think it, we talking about it just to let you know. So, hey, yo, let's go. Let's get it rocking. Pick some popcorn, get your drinks, get your snacks, and let's go. You hear me?
Go ahead, snack up, get a little sippy sip of your slurp stuff. You feel me? So now that we're getting started, guys, I think it goes without saying what we're going to be starting with. What's going on in the world besides Spider-Man right now?
It's a whole lot.
It is a whole.
Yeah, a lot. We got a lot of stuff coming up, with the Marvel universe, and DC. We have, the Doctor Strange. We got Batman coming up, Aquaman.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of movies coming up this year, honestly, that I'm really excited to see and a little nervous because, we never know how they're gonna turn up.
Nervous is a warranted concern considering the track record recently, but it's good to see that it looks like 2022 is going to be the year of the bat. It looks like he's going to be owning pretty much not only in comics but in like all forms of media. He's going to be getting his own movie again. We'll be seeing the old and the new Batman in the Flashpoint movie, and like pretty much the entirety of like the rival between Marvel and DC, their main two heavy hitters that have lasted this long are at it again because Spidey's getting another set of games and movies this year, and then Batman's pretty much owning the big screen. So aside from that, I don't know about y'all. I'm really excited for Morbius and Doctor Strange. That's my main two here.
Definitely. But I'm more excited about the Miles Morales movie, Back into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. That's the one up there.
Yes.
I feel like it's gonna take the whole year. Tom had last year, but I think Miles gonna have this year, representing,
Yes. I'm excited to see where they're gonna take the story this time with this new movie with Miles Morales. And as you see, they brought that cool style they had in the last movie, so it's gonna be pretty awesome to see. And they have some pretty good music in the last one as well, so it's gonna be interesting.
Oh, dude, I got that soundtrack on my playlist. Are you kidding?
Man, after I seen the first one, after I let the movie there, I download them quicker than you can see. We're gonna edit that part out.
And it's funny you mentioned the art style, Oscar, because it looks like they're mixing a couple of different art styles in this. Right. And that implies that each universe that they jump to is going to be different, which means that leaves us room for them to jump from the cartoon or computer animated setup into the live action setup at some point.
Yes, definitely.
So it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, like you were saying, like I feel like when Miles Morales probably jumping to different multiverses, they're gonna change up the different art styles. We're gonna see one art style from another.
Right. So that's gonna be fun, and it seems like the multiverse is really gonna be a main focus this year for like every aspect of like anywhere between like games, movies, like. People are jumping on the multiverse hype train like big time this year. Like, remember there was a time when we were all talking about the multiverse and like different theories about other dimensions before it was mainstream or cool? Like, everybody's talking about it now that like they're experts. I'm like, you weren't there.
Wasn't there.
You weren't there like we were. I mean, if you think about it, yeah, like you said, like for some reason this year is the year of the multiverse. You have the Miles Morales multiverse. You have Doctor Strange multiverse. Then we have the Flash multiverse.
Right.
Then again, we just recently had the Spider-Man No Way Home multiverse. So it's gonna be really interesting. Again, year of the multiverse.
Now,
Yes.
I got a point. I don't point I want to put out. Now, if both of y'all, I'm pretty sure you did watch WandaVision, like I did.
Yes.
Do you believe
Yes.
that when she made the town that she was in, and when it went corrupted, do you think that same time on the same timeline as No Way Home, when it started to break into the sky and everything, was it around the same time? So people
Um,
didn't know. That's one theory that
I think
might be true.
I
Same the
think
one in Loki.
I know for a fact that it was the same time as Loki, but I don't know if it was the same time as No Way
Spider-Man.
Home.
I feel like that was something different. I feel like the WandaVision was more leading up towards Doctor Strange. And as for Loki, I feel like it's gonna tie into probably all those movies, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, because again, it all involves the multiverse. Like somebody broke the multiverse. We don't know if it was Wanda, we don't know if it's Doctor Strange, or we don't even know if it was Loki. Like we don't know who actually broke it. All we know is we have.
Actually, yeah, it falls under that. It falls under that, sort of wavelength. The way I've seen it, and the way a few have actually seen it, was when He Who Remains, aka Kang, was talking about how he knows everything and has basically charted out like every single point up to a certain point. That certain point where he was sitting there taking a moment to pause and thinking about, okay, I knew everything up to this point, like right now, because of a Nexus event that was happening in the multiverse. That Nexus event was Wanda becoming the Scarlet Witch when she was fighting Agatha Harkness. And you can actually notice in the background as the sacred timeline is getting ready to shift that there's a little red hue in the background. That was Wanda. That's how I see that. And then Sylvie set off the whole thing and just unleashed the multiverse by killing He Who Remains. And I think Spider-Man No Way Home probably happens a little bit after that, which is how we're getting this weird conjoined frigazy multiverse that I hope they explain in Morbius. I think that's going to be the key because they have a little bit of everything from each movie. They have a poster of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but the Daily Bugle and Oscorp from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and then Adrian Toomes from the MCU movies. And then, of course, he's connected to Venom. So it's all going to be conjoined somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they better explain it. But the main thing I'm hoping is that, being that it is Morbius the Living Vampire, they give us Blade as a result of it.
I'm pretty sure they will. And the reason why I said that is because if you remember in Eternals, at the end credit or the post credit or whatnot, that the guy that's I can't remember the name, that's my bad, was dating the other guy, and he said he didn't like his uncle or his father or something like that. It was a sword.
Ebony Knight.
That guy at the end, I believe, told him,
that was
"Are you
Blade.
ready for?" I believe that was Blade. I'm pretty sure
that was Blade. They confirmed it. That was Mahershala Ali.
Very soon. I'm pretty sure. Now,
I didn't know that was Blade, honestly. I didn't know that was Blade. I actually didn't know whose voice that was. I actually didn't know who the Black Knight character was. I have to actually look up information. Luckily, I have a Marvel encyclopedia in my little library that could probably give me info on who this character is.
I have one too, but it's dated. So I need to get a new one.
There you go. Now, my other point I want to put out, when it going back to the multiverse and the whole splitting up and everything, I feel like Doctor Strange could have took 2 minutes before starting that spell and been like, all right, who you want to keep and who you don't want to keep before I start this. Because once I start, I cannot end it. And then he's like, take out Ned, take out MJ. Oh, my Aunt May. Everybody, like, come on, dude.
In hindsight, when you think in movie logic, that's true, but it would have distracted the whole point. Strange was trying to tell Peter that living 2 different lives is going to make things all that more complicated and all that more dangerous. Right. So that's a lesson he knew. but Peter didn't know.
Also, I want to point out another point. In all the Spider-Man movies, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen. If you remember a good point in the end of No Way Home, in that fight scene when Peter was fighting Green Goblin, if you go back to the movie in the I think it was the first movie segment, I can't remember 100%. But when he had the glider, right? He was holding the glider from like him dying or whatever. I feel like they did that a correlation to that scene again when you see Peter holding the glider to save his life.
Yes.
And if you really think about it, it's kind of the same homage to that scene that happened.
Yeah. Which was actually something I was thinking about, which by the way, standout performance. I don't know if Kevin Feige or Willem Dafoe or any of the people from Marvel or Spider-Man No Way Home are going to watch this, but bravo to Willem Dafoe and the rest of the returning cast from the other Spider-Man movies. They knocked it out of the park. But I was thinking about something.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene in the movie that they were all in the magical cages in Doctor Strange's basement and in the basement of the Sanctum Sanctorum, and they were talking about how they were all pulled in from a specific moment when they were getting ready to die, which means when Doctor Strange sent them all back, he sent them back to that point in their timeline, which means chances are with no goblin, with no goblin in the back of Norman's mind, he didn't send the glider. With Electro being just Max Dillon again, he didn't have to pull electricity from the grid. With Sandman, with Lizard, everybody was back to their old selves. They weren't in any position where they were particularly getting ready to die. But in Doc Ock's part of the timeline, he still has the machine pulling everything in, which means when he goes back, he still has to pull it back into the rubber, which means in that timeline, he still ended up dying.
That is true. And you forgetting about the most important character of them all. The best villain was the tree that Peter caught and put in the Sanctorum. The goddamn tree. Do you hear me? The goddamn tree. That was the top tier villain. Okay.
You know what? I'll bet you that tree stayed in that cage and Wong came back and just continued to water it.
Yeah, probably.
One is the definition. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it.
My name is Bennett and I ain't in it. My name is Paul and this between y'all.
Speaking of, the villains, coming back to Goblin, for those who have seen the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man, for those who remember the scene where Spider-Man and Goblin had their first interaction, giving him a speech saying, what was it about? Despite
being a hero and a villain?
Yeah. Despite doing everything for them, eventually they'll hate you. And what happened in this film?
Oh, that's exactly what happened.
If you think about it, That's what he tried to avoid it. That's what he tried to make him avoid. Why are you still doing these things to help people? Eventually, they're going to end up hating you. And in this movie, we see the fact Spider-Man can be saving people, but they're still going to hate him because they think he killed somebody.
But, in the Spider-Man with
Continue. Hold up. I'm grabbing my charger.
The Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, the first one, the second one, he was saving people from the train, right? He didn't have his mask on. And the people on the train was like, he's just a kid, and they knew he just saved our lives. Even if all this damage of the city's all messed up, he still risked his life to save everybody. So I feel that each New York that each Peter is from is different. It's not the same. They're all different since they're all in the multiverse, and I feel like all the people mindsets are very different in each one of their lives. And
honestly, that's true. If you think about it, like when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man first popped up in his New York, a lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people liked him. But at the end of the movie, when he's taking on the Goblin, they all rallied behind him when he was trying to save the kids. So, they were ready to accept him. But in Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe in the MCU, in a world where there's God knows how many heroes, he's the only one that they don't like.
I like a good point I want to put out that when all the Spideys came together, and when Peter
Oh
said,
yes.
when Peter
Yeah.
said, it's part of Avengers, and Andrew was like, "Is that a band?"
Yeah.
Like,
That's great.
who's
What
that?
is that?
Yeah.
That
Everybody
was
just
too
looks
funny.
super
That right
confused.
there was gold.
But wait, hold on. Sam Raimi is going to be directing Multiverse of Madness. So, though Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man didn't have an Avengers in his world, he has a Doctor Strange in his world, though. So I hope that they explore that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I believe they mentioned the second movie where they were Doctor Octopus, like Doctor Strange, like that's a good one, but it's already
But
taken.
it's taken. Yes.
Yeah, I want to know where they're going with that. Another thing, I think I've read about it at a article. They said that in the multiverse of madness, they might bring in Fox characters like the Fantastic Four. They might bring
Yes.
the early 2000s Reed Richards, and then as well as Magneto, which who is also played by Ian like I'm butchering his name, Ian
Ian
McKellen.
McKellen. Yes.
He'll come
Yeah,
back as
Ian McKellen.
yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see, and also great to see because that's gonna be the first time we're gonna see. Okay, we're gonna bring these heroes back to the MCU now. They're no longer gonna be part of Fox's property.
I hope it's true. I really hope it's true.
Yes.
Because between that and other versions of heroes, they'd really be doing us a service if I don't want to say like do it in like terms of like what they did with did you guys ever see the Arrowverse crossover special, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they brought back old TV show DC characters and even like some of the old movies?
Yeah.
I'd say that they should do that, but not on like a cheesy level. Just like make it have some meaning, like they did with No Way Home. Like if Blade show up, make it have some meaning. If the X-Men show up, make it have some meaning. If the Fantastic Four show up, you got to have Chris Evans meeting Chris Evans.
Yes, that's Human Torch. Yes. Yes, that'll be funny. You just be looking at him, you just see, freaking Captain America be like, "Are you shitting me?" You just have Johnny Storm be like, "Oh, that's awesome. I'm a badass Captain America," or something like that.
Or even better, have Michael B. Jordan with Michael B. Jordan, Human Torch versus Killmonger.
Oh Lord. Oh God. Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
Speaking of Killmonger, what do you think of do you think Wakanda Forever is gonna come out on time this year, or you think it's gonna be pushed back another year?
I think it's gonna be pushed back.
Probably, yeah, because I think the main actress, Leticia Wright, was in an accident, so we don't know how long she's gonna be out. I don't know if they're done with the movie or they're like halfway done with the movie. So hopefully she gets better, she recovers soon,
Yeah, I hope so. Regardless of any, controversy with the whole vaccination thing that they keep talking about, or if there's actually any like full-on injury that there's a problem with, yeah, I hope she's okay. Which funny you should actually mention that, because there's a scene from Infinity War that they haven't, from Endgame that they haven't released, that I hope that they're going to put in this movie, because that's the last scene with T'Challa that we have, where he and Doctor Strange are talking about the future now that Thanos is gone. So I really hope that they put that out there, because that would be a good little scene that caps off, any transition from Multiverse of Madness to this story. And then, of course, nice little tribute to Chadwick, since it was his last role, so.
Rest in peace, my man. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. That man, when I tell you, it was between him and Michael B. Jordan. Those are the men I aspire to be as a Black nerd. Those are men who have it all and still have room to game, watch anime, and do everything that we do.
Money. They got all the money in the world. Shit.
He got all the money in the world. He got all the sponsorships, and he still watched Dragon Ball Z on the weekends.
Because he got the time.
He got the time.
And the money.
No shade or nothing like that, Michael B, if you end up watching this, bro.
Oh,
no. But yeah, man, Marvel is gonna have a pretty good year, I hope. DC should have a pretty good year too.
I hope so. I feel like DC is probably picking up, like picking up the pieces and like I guess following like Marvel. I guess you could guess like a guide sheet, be like, okay, maybe this is how we should do things. I mean, come on. We made a movie with multiverses and shows involving multiverses. Next thing you know, we got The Flash. So
If
on.
they know what's good for them.
Yeah.
Because Marvel is having their own splintered multiverse and timeline with both Sony's Marvel property and then Disney's Marvel property. If they know what's good for them, they will split it up into the mainstream wonky DC universe that they've continued with for the longest, and then the Snyderverse.
Oh my God.
Two intersecting timelines, same characters, but following one particular story properly. Because that way we can get a proper wraparound, that does justice, no pun intended, to what happened with Justice League. Everything that happened with, because I don't know about you guys, but I've watched the Snyder Cut like, I want to say 7 times now.
Really?
Not consecutively in a row, mind you, but 7 times, enough to catch, the little nuances that worked, that didn't work, what were highly improved upon over the theatrical cut. Because I remember when I was going to the Art Institute and the movie came out, I was hyped, but I was a little disappointed afterwards because, I felt like it was like, this feels like 2 different movies wrapped up into one. Something must have happened here.
Right. Let's not forget Henry Cavill's Snapchat filter he had on.
Yes, the Henry Cavill mustache Snapchat filter.
It looked like a Snapchat filter. I thought I was the only one who noticed that. I just looked at my friend next to him like, is it me or is that a Snapchat filter?
Nothing wrong with his upper lip.
That don't look right. All right.
Oh man.
That seems about wrap up on today's Babble Talk. So again, I am Oscar.
I'm Nelly.
I'm your main man, Neo, the one and only, that guy, anime guy. 121. But yeah, I'm your main man, Neo, and this is Babble Talk. We will catch you next time on the next episode 2 of season 1.
Peace out, y'all.
Good night.
Peace.
Or day. Or whenever you're watching this. I don't know.
Right. What time zone?
Peace.